So, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all the guests who have been here on today. Well, a warm welcome to this GIBS IRE Talk series. I'm Professor Sandeep Ansali, and it's my pleasure to host today's IRE Talks on the topic that resonates with everyone's zest for storytelling and content creation. We are in the world of content creation, and storytelling, the art of storytelling, is very crucial. So, once again, a warm welcome to all of you who have joined with us today on IRE Talks. So before we begin, let's get into a small insight about GIBS Business School Bangalore, an institution of excellence. GIBS is known for its AICTE approved PGDM courses, PGDM and BBA courses, exceptional faculty, and a strong emphasis on practical learning. Our commitment at GIBS is to nurture the leaders who are not only successful in their professional endeavors, but also the influential community members. And to have a brief gist about the IRE talks, our commitment at GIBS extends beyond education, nurturing innovation, research, and entrepreneurship through our IRE talks. We aim to ignite the minds and inspire actions by connecting with you with the visionaries and leaders who have made the significant strides in their fields. Currently, we are focusing on the art of storytelling without forgetting that we have, I would say, sir does not need an introduction for all those people, specifically for those students who are looking for CA. I'm sure you would have heard about Mr. Shivam Palan. But it gives me immense pleasure to introduce you all to our keynote speaker for today, Mr. Shivam Palan, founder and CEO at CA Mount. Mr. Shivam is a key witness to excellence, creativity, and relentless pursuit of knowledge. And I am Indore graduate with an experience in mid-tier firms, big fours, as well as a startup across different cities of the country. He has transitioned up to full-time teaching from 2020, and he has been trained over 40,000 CA students. Many of them have gone to a successful career, and Mr. Palan has gained a significant presence on social media. I must say he has an amazing followership of more than over 130,000 followers on LinkedIn. And I think on Insta as well, you have about 86,000 odd followers on Insta, and one among them is that's me. So thank you so much for joining in, Shivam sir. And let's catch up, Shivam sir, to have. We are eagerly waiting to hear Mr. Shivam. And one information for all the participants: we will have the Q&A section, the section open. So in case if you have any doubts, you want to understand anything more, in case if you have missed out on any point, you can put it across in the Q&A section. We will take the Q&A at the end of the session. So without wasting much of the time, or I would not take too much of time, I want to listen to you, and all our audience would also love to listen to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Great, great. So thanks, Sandeep ji, and thanks to entire team for inviting me out for this program. And in fact, before the session, I was just going through the website of the college, and I was really impressed the way things are designed. And you're talking about the placements and stuff. And one of the motto which I really liked was learn, earn, and return, right?
We can.
So that is something which is very important when you are going to be a part of your organization. So now most of them are in a learning stage where you're learning a lot of things out. So today, guys, we are here to learn something new, which is called as the art of a storytelling. And in fact, just wanted to tell you out, every one of you, that at the end of a day, everyone is a salesman, to be honest. The reason being, right, imagine that you are sitting in an interview, you need to sell yourself, telling that I am the best seller or I am the best person out, give me the highest package here. Imagine that you are a CFO of a company, you again need to pitch to the shareholders or stakeholders saying that, please invest in my company. So again, you are selling to the people out. Imagine that you're a salesman. Of course, you need to bring out a business. So you need to sell your company telling that you're the best. Or imagine that you are a guy who is involved in any of the day-to-day activity. Or imagine that you're working in your organization. You need to again sell to your manager telling that you have done a hard work, right? So at the end of a day, sales is one of the most important thing which you need to learn. And everything is related to stories because people love listening stories, right? So one of the very interesting things, since we are here today, and I'm getting one feeling, and the feeling which I'm getting is that I'm getting a feeling of a young Bill Gates. Now, a lot of you must be wondering why I'm getting this feeling of a young Bill Gates. I'm not talking about that I'm going to be as rich as Bill Gates. I'm not going to be talking about that I'm going to be changing the world like the Bill Gates have done. But what I'm saying here is that I am going to be doing something today in this session which will definitely help you out to create a change among the people out, and which is going to be helping you to, of course, upscale your career to a next level, right? Now, before I move forward, I'll just also share my screen because I have prepared a small deck. I think most of you will love to see it out, So just give me a fraction of second. Others can just confirm me on the chat. Is my screen visible? Right. Sandeep ji, if you could just confirm. Perfect. Yes.
It is, sir. It
Okay.
is perfectly.
Now I'll start with a very interesting thing, the first foremost thing, and that is jobs versus career. Right. So I would love to know from most of you from here, those who are sitting in the session, what is your one of the main important parameter? Are you guys looking for a job or do you guys want to build your career? You can just put it in the Q&A section, right? Or the chat which is available. Right. What is the one thing which you guys are looking for? Are you looking for a job or are you looking for a career? कोई कह रहा है जहां पैसा ज्यादा होगा, that is something which you are looking for. Okay, ठीक है, got it. Got it, got it, got it. Uh, I want to build my career. Okay, got it. Now, there's a small thin line of a difference between two things. Job is something which you do for money, and career is something which you do, which is going to be helping you to earn a good money plus something which you love, right? Now, here we need to understand if you want to build a good career, you need to ensure that you are able to sell yourself, and that is a selling technique or storytelling technique, which is something which I'm going to be teaching you out today. Now, I don't know how many of you visited Starbucks, right? I think few of you might have visited, few of you might have dream of visiting after you get your first salary. But Starbucks do not sell a coffee. If you understand the Starbucks motto, Starbucks says that we do not sell the coffee business. We are not into the coffee business of serving people. We are in the people business of serving a coffee. See the thin line of a difference between delivering a same story in a different manner. Starbucks ये नहीं बोलता है कि we are selling coffees. No, Starbucks says we are in the people business of serving a coffee. So imagine any of the time, next time you visit a Starbucks, right? Or you or ask your boyfriend or a girlfriend to date on a Starbucks, definitely you'll get a good vibe or understanding कि ठीक है Starbucks में होता है. So next time you visit to a Starbucks, right? See that the delivery, the way they talk to the people is far more going to be different as compared to any other coffee shop. The reason is they want to create a value in terms of this, right? So what is important? The words you speak is going to be defining the quality of a brand, and definitely this quality can help the people charge a premium. Since everyone sitting here knows that ki Starbucks ki coffee महंगी आती है, right? We know this ki the coffee of a Starbucks is costly. Otherwise, right, we would have gone to Starbucks every day. We occasionally go to Starbucks because the coffee is costly. But why it is able to charge a premium product? Because number one, people love the services. And it's like a brand, it's like a status. हम जाते हैं तो we put a story, right? And Instagram or anywhere we gone to Starbucks. Why? Because it's giving us a premium feeling. So what the Starbucks is doing, it has just changed its motto and able to deliver the same thing in a better way. So what is important for you, all of you guys sitting here, is your delivery will define your success. Your delivery will define how much money you will get. So what is important, right? Change the way you're delivering the things on. That is what we want to learn in this today's session. Okay. Next. Now the question is, what do we need to do? We just need to change the focus. What is our focus? Our focus is audience. Second thing which you need to understand whenever you're going to be talking to any one of them, either in interviews, either in any of the public forums, or whenever you're going to be meeting the people out, what is your purpose? One simple purpose is to engage the people. I would repeat. The purpose is to engage the people. Now the question is, how do you engage it? Rule is very simple. Finding out something common between two people. Okay. What is the rule? Finding out something common between two people. That is the best way to engage with the people out. Now, let me ask you, right? Others can, I would request all of you to put the things in the Q&A and I'll be happy to just see it out. I just want to know from which city all of you guys are connecting from. Just wanted to know from which city you guys are connecting from. You can put it in the Q&A. You can just put it in a Q&A. I want to keep the session more interactive, right? To put it in a Q&A, from which city you are going to be or you guys are connecting now. Fatima is asking how one can develop a storytelling technique. Don't worry, the session is just started, right? Okay, someone is connected from Kolkata, Udaipur. Okay. right? Hyderabad, okay, great.
Amritsar.
Amritsar, okay. So I can see a diversity of a people out. So let me just see, say for example, uh, Induji is connected from Udaipur, okay. Someone is connected from Bhopal, okay. Someone is connected from Amritsar. So now what I can start doing? I can start finding out something common between them related to that place or a city. So say for example, if someone is connected from Hyderabad, I can definitely talk about a food like biryani, a paradise biryani. I don't know how many of you have been to
Paradise.
paradise biryani, right? It is well known in Hyderabad, so definitely I can start talking about them, right? If someone is from Kolkata, so I can of course talk about the different sweets, right? Kolkata is known from different sweets, right? You can talk about rasgulla and different sweets which are there. If someone from Bangalore, of course I can talk about the traffic and the problems going on in the Bangalore nowadays, right? A water problem and other stuff. Or I can also talk about the Nandi Hills. Have you been to Nandi Hills? So what I'm trying to do, I am trying to finding out something common between the two people out. The time you start doing this, other person will feel like he or she is of a my type. And what is important? It is very, very important to make other person comfortable when you're going to be talking it out. Okay, let me just move forward. There are 9 important things which I would cover it, which are relevant for job placements, which is related to some storytelling. And then I'll move to the core of how you can use this for storytelling in a different way. The first most important thing about a storytelling, and of course related to job interviews, and that is you will always need a right reference to get into a right company. Since most of you must be sitting here and most of you will be looking for a jobs right after your campus or after your course is done, you will of course need a reference. And who will be able to give you a reference? You know what? If you guys are able to utilize a LinkedIn platform nicely, you'll be even able to find out a god. But the problem is, if you're reaching out to the people by saying, please give me job, they're not going to be helping you out. You need to tell them a story. You need to tell and deliver your story, saying that why I am different from others. You need to have your very good story, right? Or a proof of work, which is going to be making you different from others. And understand one thing, you cannot say that मेरे चाचा विधायक है तो मुझे job दे दो. This is not going to be working out, right? What you need is of course a reference. Now imagine that in since I was just going through the website, right? Your college is doing a great work, right? They are organizing a series of events. Different speakers are coming every second day, third day, right? So what is the one of the best thing you can do whenever you are getting or connected with the speakers out after the session is done? You can just send a connection note to a speaker saying that it was really a great session. And once that is done, you can create a bond between them. Once that is done, of course, it is going to be helping you to give a leverage because these people, those who are coming to these platforms, have a huge reference and network in the industry, right? See, you need to work for yourself because if you're not doing it, of course, someone else will do it. Second interesting thing, if you are looking for a job, or how does this is very relevant, and that is 3 rules, which is always important. First, create a bond, nurture it, convert it. Let me just give you a small example. Whenever you're going to be meeting for people for a first time, never ask for a favor in a first discussion. First discussion is always for a face value and face building, which is called as creating your brand, which is very important. So what do you do? Imagine that you meet someone for the first time. You just need to create a bond with them. Second time, you just need to nurture it. एक बार आपने उनसे मिल लिया. Second time, you just need to nurture it, and third time, you need to convert it.
Convert.
Just giving a very small example, right? It's a very funny example. Imagine that you met one of your friend, right? तो पहली बार ही आप उसको जाके ये नहीं बोल देते कि भाई तेरे नोट्स दे दे मुझे होमवर्क कॉपी करना नहीं. धीरे धीरे आप पहले दोस्ती बनाते हैं, दोस्ती आगे बढ़ती है और फिर आप डेफिनेटली आस्क फॉर अ फेवर, right? It works everywhere. So what you need to do whenever you're going to be meeting the new people out, create a bond. Recently, I've been to one of the conferences of influencers, which was there. I was very smart enough. What I did, I started talking to a lot of influencers and telling them how I can help them to create their brand or how I can help them to grow. You know what? One of the biggest influencer, right? I'll not say the name, but that influencer asked me, Shivam, why don't you share your number? I was about to ask him or her कि please आप अपना number मुझे दे दो, but I delivered the story in such a way that this is Shivam, please share your number, we'll connect next time on a call. So what you need to do, you need to deliver your story.
Then,
Do you remember how I started my story? I started like today I'm feeling like a Bill Gates, right? So what I'm doing, I'm delivering a story where people feel like इसको क्यों Bill Gates की feeling आ रही है भाई, right? A questioning mindset. So that is very very important. Third, always showcase to the people that you are different from others. If you are able to do it, people will be happy to talk to you. If you are just showing to the people as normal as ठीक है भाई मैं जैसा हूं वैसा तुम हो, no, it's not going to be working. If you are able to showcase to others that you are different from others, people will be happy to talk to you. But if you're not doing it, don't worry, someone else is doing it. Life में rule simple है. If you'll not do it, someone else will do it. So again, it's very important parameter. Next, most important part of every story and every conversation, which is numbers. Numbers build trust. Write it down and put it in your head. Numbers build trust. Right? I don't know how many of you were listening to the introduction, right? But Mr. Sandeep has given a very nice introduction. At the start, he was mentioning that Shivam has helped more than 10,000 chartered accountants. He has more than 1,34,000 followers on LinkedIn. So what he was doing, he was putting out the numbers. Why? Because numbers build trust across the audience. यार ये तो गजब का बंदा है, इतने followers है इसके. In a similar way, whenever you're going to be talking to any one of them in interviews, right? What you can talk about is numbers. Sir, I have worked on 4 assignments where, or I have worked in 3 important assignments where, dot, 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 dot. Talk about the impact which you have brought it out because this is what the people want to listen, right? Tell what others want to listen. Others always want to listen numbers and numbers build trust. This is one of the very important parameters when it comes to delivering your stories. Moving forward. Speaking something which others want to listen is again very important, which I've already told you. I don't know how many of you have watched this movie, Hera Fairy, right? Devi Prasad hai, Devi Prasad hai. So what is important? Don't state the obvious. Imagine that again, your interviews are going, you're sitting in a campus, okay? Most of you will have a common series. Most of you might copy paste. I've generally seen, I've visited multiple colleges and seen many of the people have the same series. This is that, अच्छा senior का format था, name change करो, share it and submit it out. Guys, if you're going to be doing it, it's not going to be helping you to build your good career base. If you want to be an exceptional guy, speak something what others want to listen. They want to listen. See, understand one thing. Everyone in this era wanted a human or a manpower which can reduce their company's job and work, which is their number one. Number two, can make the life of the manager simple. Number three, they wanted कि जो इंसान ने काम किया है और whatever the course you have done, do you know this course or a practical applicability of the things in the real world or not? Simple. So you need to learn yourself. You need to tell to the others, right? And don't state the obvious things. Next, emotion always works, right? I'll have a very good story in upcoming when we'll move forward for the session, right? But emotion always works. Understand one thing. When you're connected between two people, between emotions, emotion से ही आप connect होते हो किसी की story में. I don't know how many of you remember this out, right? Lot of advertisements are connected based on emotions, right? Say, for example, either it is a Bonvita ad. Why do you have a mummy in the Bonvita ad? Because emotion works. Sir, but the question is how we can bring out the emotion in our story and how we can bring out the emotion when we are going to be delivering one of the interviews, right? I'll come to it in a while, don't worry. But emotion is very, very important because emotion से लोग connect होते हैं. I don't know how many of you have seen this few days back. One of the Zomato guy was asking that I don't have a money. My sister wanted to get married, right? And he just posted it out, and that post got viral, and that guy got a crores of rupees, and he became a crorepati all of a sudden, right? What was happening, guys? There, emotion is working, right? So emotion is very important when you're going to be delivering a story. I'll come to it in a while. How do you need to bring it out? Next, one of the very bigger problem with all of us is a lot of you must be having a lot of friends and people around in your colleges, and you must be meeting a lot of people around. The problem is you never see the people on the future value.
Yes, bro.
See the people based on the future value, not on the present value. आप बोलते हो ये तो मेरा दोस्त है नहीं. I have a very interesting journey, and in fact, those are people based out of colleges and schools, right? I generally recommend them. One of the student came to me all of a sudden. He says, "Sir, I have 1,000 rupees. Since you are a chartered accountant, tell me where I should invest this 1,000 rupees." Right? Very interesting story. So one of the I was delivering one of the session, right? Session khatam hua, like Q&A started, and one of the student came, "Sir, I have 1,000 rupees. Since you are a chartered accountant, give me some pro tips where I can invest and double my money." Right? Everyone is excited for this nowadays. सबको पैसा बढ़ाना है, right? So he started asking me, "Sir, tell me some mutual funds, stocks, and stuff." I said, "Ruko, you are at a very early age of investing this 1,000 rupees." I says, "Invest this 1,000 rupees for your friends. Where give them a samosa party, give them a pizza party." He says, "Sir, what the hell you're talking about?" I says, "This is the investment you're doing on the people who are gonna be your future CFOs, future CEOs, future techies, and whatnot, right? Invest the money in the experiences which you're going to be getting in the colleges, because this is something which you have it for a year or two, but after the time has gone, you're going to be in the race of this. But what is important is to create a good friendships now, because you have a pool of people around. The reason is, if you are here, if you're sitting in this webinar, or if you're watching this, definitely you are the guy who is going to be doing something great in your life, right? Since you have been into a colleges or schools which is there, of course that college has some parameters of joining in. Once you have been into that college, that means you're among the good people or a bright mind of the world. Since you are among those people out, that means those people are going to be doing something great in your life. Agree? Since all those people are doing great in the life, see the people based on the future value. And it's important to create the good friendships among all the people out. So from today onwards, your goal and vision should be to network with as many people as possible and connect with as many people as possible, because that will help you to build your future value, right? Next, simple. This rule I've already covered, right? If you're not doing it, someone else is doing it, right? अगर आप नहीं करोगे तो कोई और करेगा. And last, your brand value is very important, guys. Why it is very important to sell yourself? You just know it every day, or you must have seen it out. Imagine that, right? You open your Instagram or social media or anything out. You must be having some fan followers, or आप किसी को follow करते होंगे, right? Why? Because that people have created their own brand. Why don't you create your own brand among yourself? This will make your life very, very simple and will help you grow fast. And one of the best way to build your brand is by delivering your story in a better way. Right? I generally give one of the example, right? But since it's a public forum, but just giving a small example. There are a lot of companies, or there are a lot of founders, right? Or just taking a small example, right? Since this is the story of a Bharat Pay, right? Every one of you must be aware of Ashneer Grover,
Thank you.
right? Ashneer Grover was he started the company Bharat Pay, right? Some of the incidents happened in a Bharat Pay which led him to removed from that company. वो निकल गया उस company से. Right now he started a different companies into, he was into Shark Tank season 1, and he started a different ventures out nowadays. But once he was removed from a Bharat Pay, he was removed for one of the reason that he was using a company's money for a personal purpose. This was one of the reason which was stated. But people still have a huge fan following base for him. Why? Because he had his own brand value, because he was a good storyteller, because he knows how to deliver his journey and story. So what I'm telling you out is, your speaking, your communication is gonna be defining your success in upcoming future. And that is why it is very, very important for you guys to learn this storytelling. Right? So we covered the 9 important things which are needed as a base, right? Either in a job interviews or when you're going to be a part of a good storyteller, you need to know it before you're going to be moving to the next step. Right? So I'll just give a fast recall. I'll just slide it out if you have missed out. The people, those who are making notes, I don't know you guys are making notes or not, right? Or generally people love listening the Babajis with a beard these days, right? So I'm considering one of them. Okay. So I hope you guys are making some notes out. Definitely this is going to be helping you for a future reference or a further reference which is there. So first is, of course, you need a one right reference to get into one right company. That is very important, right? Second is you're creating your bond, nurturing it, converting it. Third, tell others why you're different from others. Next, numbers is very important when you're going to be delivering stories because numbers build trust. And what is rule of three? Speaking in points. Always observe that a good leaders or a good teachers or a good speakers always speak in terms of points. Right? Today I have three important things to discuss. What is this? It's a rule of three. Right? You can talk about, sir, I have done three major works during my internships. What is this? Again, a rule of three. A good speaker or a good listener, of course, want to listen things in a structurized manner. Speak something what others want to listen. Don't state the obvious. Emotion always works. See always the persons on the future value, not on the present value. If you're not doing it, of course, someone else will do it. And build your branding is one of the most important parameter, right? So importance of stories, one of the best way to sell yourself is others first sell yourself. That's again. So I'll ask a very simple question. You can just write a yes or no. You can also write the answers in the chat box. How many of you remember the Pythagoras theorem? I'm just looking for some answers in the chat or Q&A. कितने लोग को पाइथागोरस थ्योरम आता है? हाँ, yes लिखने से थोड़ी होगा. Some of them are writing yes, I know it. I want the formula in the chat. Give me the formula for Pythagoras theorem. Let's see how many of you remember it out. Put it out, put it out, put it out. Just wanted to see. I'm waiting. People are scratching their head. Few of them are like, "Arey, why do we need to remember it? We have a chat GPT in this era." Oh, acha beta. Okay, I've got only one answer. Okay, waiting for others, right? Okay, okay, okay. Few of them are. Some of them have changed. They are thinking, how do we write a square? You can write two. Okay, okay, got it. Great. There we got a few answers, right? Okay, Shushmita is saying the hypotenuse, okay, is equal to the sum of perpendicular square in this. Okay. There might be a cases where a lot of you must have memorized this in a 10th standard, right? Ratta mara hoga. Few of you might have made cheats. No, I am considering all of them are serious people. They have not made the cheats, but few of them have rectified and done what not to remember the Pythagoras theorem, right? But I'll ask you one simple question. How many of you remember the story of rabbit and tortoise? Right? एक खरगोश होता है, एक कछुआ होता है, right? I think every one of you remember it out. Why? Because it's all about a story. People remember stories. People don't remember the facts which are there. It's tough to remember. But what is easy to remember is a story, right? Now, one of the very interesting case, just listen it out and then you give me the answer. Imagine that after this session, right? You are at your home. After this session, you go out of your college or school or wherever you are, right? You went outside and you find out two different beggars sitting there. First beggar is saying, I am blind, please help. I am blind, please help. The first beggar is saying. Second beggar is saying, it's a beautiful day, I can't see it. Okay? You just need to, everyone, those who are sitting here, right? Just need to answer it in a Q&A. Which beggar you will help, the first one or the second one? To which beggar you will give the money?
Second one.
Right? To which beggar you will help give the money? Renuka ji is saying second one. Okay. Got it?
If Shita says second, Ashwini says second.
Wait. I think most of you are saying second, and few of them are scratching their head. Sandeep ji, they're saying, why do we need to give the money to someone? पैसा नहीं देना है हमें. जिसको देना था, we have already given out the money. But still, imagine that if you want to give it, most of you will give it to the second one. Why? Remember the rule of a story. One, every story will have some conflict. Every story will have emotion. Can you see the emotion into the second story? It says, it's a beautiful day and I can't see it. It's an emotion. Yaar, you cannot see it. Oh my God. What is this emotion? I'm feeling bad. What is the first guy doing? He's saying, I am blind, please help. It's obvious. We are ignoring the obvious. Do you remember the previous rule we have stated? Don't state the obvious. He's stating the obvious. I'm blind, please help. He said, nahi yaar, we don't know. We don't want to help you. The second guy is saying, it's a beautiful day and I can't see it. Oh my God. What he is doing? He's doing a conflict. You can see it. I cannot see it. Can you feel the conflict here? The time people see the conflict, the time people feel the emotion, they start relating to your stories. Right? Next. Very interesting. How many of you know him? Okay. Yes, no, no, yes in the chat. Yes, no, no, yes in the chat. How many of you know him? It's very important relating to the brand value. I don't know. I think most of you are writing it as no. Okay. Okay. Next, how many of you know him? I think everyone knows him, Aman Gupta, right? Now let's see the difference. The first guy is a founder of and CEO of Noise. Now I hope everyone have you heard a company called as a Noise. You must have seen the watches, right, of this company and the headphones of this company, right? And both everyone is aware of. Now, what is the difference between the two things or two different people out, right? In fact,
Brand.
you'll be surprised to see the Noise company started 9 years ago and the boat company started 7 years ago, right? It's a different journey altogether. And the Noise company has started earlier. That means it should have a more brand value as compared to the boat, right? Generally, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, right? Earlier, the better, the first more advantage and whatnot, you can say it out. But it's a different story. Now, why? Two things. First, very, very important, which I've just covered in the previous slide, which says building your brand is important, right? Which is very, very important. Second thing, which I've said, if you're not doing it, someone else is doing it.
Yes.
So, what is important, guys? You need to be very, very smart enough to ensure that you are able to build your story and tell it to the world that I am the best. Right? Your brand value nowadays should have a position in the market. You should be able to talk about yourself. You should be able to deliver your journey in a very smart way, in a better way. Right? Now, the question comes is, how do we do it? Of course, we'll learning in a while. But yes, one more interesting thing. The story of a fair and lovely. Someone told women are not beautiful if you don't use this cream. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. You know, and in fact, looking at this, few of the guys sitting here have started putting the fair and lovely in their face. They're like, oh my God, मैं गोरा हो जाऊंगा थोड़ा सा. And in fact, I also tried it once, right? But take it, that is a different story. And after that is done, Fair and Lovely realized that boys are using more Fair and Lovely than the girls are doing. So they launched a men's Fair and Lovely. Now, what their companies are doing, guys, understand they are selling you the product by building out a story saying that if you don't do this, you're gone.
Yeah.
In a similar way, whenever you're going to be talking to any of the people in this world, whenever you're going to be connecting with someone here, what is important? Your story need to be delivered in a better way. Whenever you're going to be sitting in an interview, interviewer should feel that he's the one. Just a very interesting insights about one of the company. Hindustan Unilever, I hope many of you have heard, right? HUL. One of my student was giving an interview for Hindustan Unilever, and Hindustan Unilever have a package band of 13 lakh for a CA freshers. Chartered accountants freshers are generally offered a package of 13 lakh. The candidate was very smart enough before going to the interview. He has just followed the insights which I've shared, like going to the LinkedIn search about the interviewer in a detailed manner, following the tips which I've given. He gave a very nice interview, and at the end of an interview, when it comes to negotiation, the candidate was offered a package of 17 lakh, where others were offered a package of 13 lakh. What was the difference there? It was a difference which he or she have created in the just 1 hour of interview. And you know what? How much years it take to grow from 13 lakh to 17 lakh? Approximately, it will take 2 years of a time, to be honest.
Yes.
So that candidate has changed the entire journey just by ensuring that the 1 hour of interview which is going is perfect. Your delivery will define your success. But the question is, you need to learn it. You need to present it in a better way. Okay. So, what do we need to become a good storyteller? Right? Important story. I hope everyone is excited to know this. Yes or no in the chat, please, again. Right? Yes or no in the chat, please. Okay. I think everyone is excited. Let's move forward. Okay. The first, every story has emotion, which I have covered it in a before previous slides, which says it's a beautiful day and I can't see it. Now, the question is how you can bring out the emotion when you're going to be talking to people. Emotion is always brought out when other person resonates or relates to your things. Repeat. When other person resonates or relate to your thing, it's like, oh my God, I can feel what Shivam is saying. Right? Do you remember in your old childhood days when we used to have one common TV, and generally there used to be a fight between your grandmother or a mother for a remote, saying that mom always wanted to watch the serials Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, and you wanted to watch some cricket or cartoon or some different stuff, right? Someone is saying roadies, take control your emotions. But yes, different people had a different story. So what is happening, right? What I'm trying to do, see, Dekho, what I did just in a just fast few seconds, I'm connecting with your emotions. I'm bringing out the conflict into story. Was there a conflict in the story? Yes. Mom wanted to watch Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, you wanted to watch roadies. Conflict is there. And people love the stories, right? So you need to learn this art of a delivery. And of course, it's going to be coming from the practice. Second, very important. Every story has a conflict. The time you start your delivery with some conflict, the way I started, like, I'm feeling like a Bill Gates. And he's like, why? He's feeling like a Bill Gates. In a similar way, every story has a conflict. Very interesting joke, which I generally crack it out in a lot of sessions, right? Which is called as a typical hit Bollywood movie. Which is a hit Bollywood movie? A Bollywood movie, which movie is a hit movie? To define that, we define which is a flop movie. A flop movie is a movie where, very simple, a boy love girl and a girl love boy and both marry happily with each other is a flop movie, right? Which is a hit movie. A boy love girl and a girl love boy and father says nahi is a hit movie. Why? Because it has a conflict.
There's a conflict.
You can resonate to a lot of movies and examples which are there. So what I'm trying to tell you, first, you need to think how you can bring out some conflicts in your delivery, which will make and grasp the other person's attention. First thing. Second, how you can bring out something commonness. Right? Second thing. Third, you need to have a common thing between two people. Right? Now, few of them are thinking why there is a boy here. The boy is not supposed to be common between you two people. There is something which you can bring out a common between two people, and that is first name, place, animal, thing. I'm assuming that you guys are preparing notes and writing it down parallelly, and definitely I'll be happy to share this PPT with Mr. Sandeep and the team, right? So what is important here is you need to have something common. It can be name, it can be place, it can be animal or a thing. Just giving a small example. Before or during the session, I was just asking a lot of people out saying that key which city you're connected from. I was just trying to uh, know and try to resonate and connect with a lot of people. If someone says Calcutta, I say, oh, Rashagulla, right? There are a lot of people, those who are dog lovers here, right? And I just need to just ice break with them and get to know that, oh, you're a dog lover. Okay. Then which type of dogs you like, right? Or do you have a pet at your home? Okay. Next, you can also resonate to your names of the people around. You can ask what is your name is Shivam. Is it resonates to Shiva? Like, हाँ यार. The time someone says it out, I feel, यार, you are like me, or यार, तू तो मेरा भाई है. What is important? People connect to something which is common. You need to find out a commonness between a people. I generally says that, right? It can be either, again, I'll just move it forward and then I'll give that dialogue. Second, very important is the food. Looking at gulab jamun, few of you are feeling like even I'll get this. Of course, you'll get this after this session, right? So food is something which everyone resonates to. Food is something which everyone likes, right? So what you can talk about is the food. Here, imagine that you're in Bangalore and you can talk about, yeah, Bangalore, mein this thing is really nice. Let's visit it out. Or if you're talking to someone, right? Have you visited this place? Whenever you're talking to any of the senior person or people from with white hairs, right? Generally, these people are in the stage of their retirement or a journey. Those who have huge experiences, but they love exploring food. Trust me, right? So you can definitely talk to them regarding the foods or some passion which you have. They'll love to have a discussion to a next level. But the only thing is that you need to find out something common. Imagine that someone from Hyderabad, the time I said paradise biryani, people have a smile in their faces, right? So that is something which I was trying to resonate to. If someone from Indore can talk about Indore ke pohe or sarafa or chappan, or someone from Calcutta again I can talk about it. Someone from Mumbai can talk about a vada pav. Someone from Delhi can talk about a chole bhature. Right? Someone is saying bas karo, bhook lag rahi hai. Okay. Next, movies. Right? Life is this. I like this. I don't know how many of you watched this. Can anyone guess the web series in the uh this in the Q&A? So life may, of course, when you're going to be connecting with the people out, people love to talk about movies. Yes, someone correctly said, right? It suits, right? And now few of you might be thinking, oh my God, the speaker here, Shivam, is also watching Suits and I am also watching Suits. I can resonate with him. We can talk about Harvey Specter. We can talk about Donna, right? Or we can speak about Friends. What people are doing, right? People are able to now connect with you. The time people are able to connect with you, remember the rule, create a bond, nurture it, convert it. How do you create a bond? By bringing out something common. If you don't have anything in common, how the bond is going to be created? Am I getting it? So what is important is creating a bond by bringing out something common. How do you bring out things common? Talk about name, place, animal thing, talk about a food, talk about movies, talk about sports. Are you able to resonate to something? Right? The trophy. Yeah.
IPL.
I, IPL. Okay, few of them are able to resonate to IPL. I was referring to the match which was there. Okay, the finale. Right. It's tough to talk about it, but now everyone has the same emotion, right? Are you guys getting emotional when India lost the last match? We all were emotional. We were sad, and it was a very good conflict, right? सब जीते but आखिरी मैच हार गया क्या हुआ? It's a good story to be told. So what is important? Now you guys are able to connect, right? Next, of course, books. Not, of course, related to your study books, but I'm talking about some other books which are available in the market, which you can talk about, where generally people love to read, generally people love to hear a bit about, right? And that is something you can put it in your resume that you have a hobby to read. The time you put it out, interviewer will ask you, oh, which book you have read in the past, right? Of course, you can talk about some good books which are there, right? Don't talk much about the love stories. The discussion will go to the next level, but talk about some good books which is related to business or startup or something which is there. Next, very important. Observation of surroundings is again one of the important parameter. Okay. जैसे कि just giving a small example, I can just talk to Mr. Sandeep and say that Sandeep, really nice wallpaper you have, right? I just really love the wall, right? Or I can also talk about the dressing sense of a Sandeep, right? So what I'm doing, I'm just observing the surrounding or someone watching at me, looking at, saying that Shivam, really nice pics, right? अब खुद की तारीफ कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है? ठीक है. So what I'm talking about is the time you are going to be observing the surroundings, you'll get a ice break. The time you get a ice break, your conversation will start. The time the conversation will start, now you'll start finding out something common. Once you've found out something common, what you need to do, create a bond, nurture it, convert it. If you're not doing it, don't worry, someone else will do it and take the chance from you, right? And what do you need to do when you're going to be talking to someone? Create your brand value. How do you create your brand value? By putting out some numbers, by showing that something which you have done is genuine, right? Ensure that when you're talking, bring out some emotional stories which will make other person feel resonate with you. How this is something which is there. Meanwhile, you can bring out something common between people. What all things you can bring out common? It can be books, it can be food, it can be your surroundings which is there, right? You can talk about sports, you can talk about movies, right? Important है rule. What is the rule? Creating a bond, nurturing it, converting it. पहले bond बनाओ, फिर nurture करो, फिर convert करो, right? So that is there. Last thing, right? Imagine that there is a hiring of a two CFOs going on. A two CFOs graduated from a same school, completed schooling, same, right? Same percentage, same college, everything is same. You know what? Which CFO is going to be hired? Hindustan Unilever decided to hire two CFOs of the company, right? उसको CFO hire करना था. They invited a lot of CVs. They found out two CVs now, right? Everything was common between them. You know what? Which CFO will be hired? A CFO which is able to create a commonness or which is able to deliver a good story in an interview will be selected, right? Sometimes I have literally seen a students with a very poor academics even got a better or a higher packages into an industry because they were able to deliver the story in a better way, saying that I am the best. लाइफ में एक रूल है, आई थिंक इट इज क्लियरली सेड इन हिंदी, बोलोगे नहीं तो मिलेगा नहीं. सिंपल है. तो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, यू नीड टू डिलीवर इट, यू नीड टू स्पीक इट आउट. ठीक है. Again, right, when it comes to introduction of your college or firm, right, you need to always deliver it in a better way, saying that I have completed my schooling from the top B school. It's like delivery, right? There's no mid size or a small size or a small college or nothing. It's like a top B school in Bangalore. The time you deliver it out, people will feel like, यार ये बंदा दमदार है. Your delivery will define your success. And at the end, I just wanted to know that from the people, those who are here, I am assuming that you guys will follow the storytelling technique which is there. Of course, I've tried to cover the things within the time which is allocated to me. Of course, there is a lot of things which is there which you guys need to learn about a storytelling. Right? I generally deliver a lot of things and courses on storytelling, which is going to be for 10 hours or 15 hours. But I've tried to sum up in very short how stories are important, what all things are important when you're going to be delivering a stories, and how you can deliver a good story when you're going to be talking to people now. If you are going to be starting with these things, of course, it's going to be a game changer for you. But the important is, are you going to be starting it? Don't worry. If you're not doing it, someone else
Somebody
will.
else will do.
So you need to decide it today and start working on your goals itself. Okay? So that's it. That was there for the today's webinar. And of course, we'll be happy to take a lot of Q&As, right, which is here. Do not hesitate, right? Become shameless and ask the Q&As or the queries which you have in the chat. We'll be happy to answer all the queries out. But before that, I hope you guys must have enjoyed it, right? Sandeep ji, definitely you can also collect the feedback later and give it to me. But Sandeep ji, I'm assuming that you must have also enjoyed the session which was there.
I have thoroughly enjoyed it with the learning experience, I would say. As you said, that create a bond, nurture it, and convert it. I'm sure I have made it, and I'm sure I'm gonna write this in a big, big words and put it on right in front of the screen. कि जब भी किसी से मिलो, we generally call it as connectors.
Yes.
What happens is just try to find a connector.
Hmm.
He said, as you rightly said, कि sir आपका speaker बहुत प्यारा लग रहा है. So what happens is find the connector, the common thing which you can always share about the other person. I'm certainly going to use this technique which you have taught, sir. So, Shivam, if you don't mind, can we just take up the questions?
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Someone is here asking that if possible, can we get your PPT? Thank you. Thanks, sure, buddy. And I think someone said that we really enjoyed it. We'll be happy to have more sessions, right? And in fact, I'll be really happy if we can have a face-to-face session someday in the college,
Sure.
right? I will be really happy. तब थोड़ा सा output ज़्यादा आता है, right? Which is there, and I can of course see your reactions and the way you're understanding it out. Okay, someone is asking how can we use it in marketing or branding? Rajiv, there is a lot of marketing or branding videos which are there. I just want you to search it on YouTube, which is there, emotion-based marketing or branding videos. Just watch it out and see it. If the time permits, can I play 1 minute short video
You
which is
can.
related to pure marketing and branding? How does a companies are marketing and branding it out? I think the guy will be able to understand it in a very nice way, right? And you love that video out. In fact, I always love that video. ध्यान से देखना. Okay. Okay. Let me just share it. Share my screen. Give me thumbs up or heads up if the sound is audible. Okay. Okay. Perfect.
चले यार 7:30 बज गए. प्रिया को शॉपिंग के लिए लेके जाना है. ओके.
What the hell, Raj? I gave you a simple report. उस पे भी mistakes.
Sorry, sir.
I think I made a mistake hiring you here.
बाय.
Okay. Yeah. Bye. Raj, lunch is on me today.
Thank you, sir.
Shop with the Standard Chartered Landmark Rewards credit card and earn up to 9 times the rewards. Whose summer Santa will you be? Step good.
Right. So don't worry, I'm not going to be selling you the Standard Chartered credit card. But what I wanted to understand and take takeaways of this video was all the points which I've covered here is covered. First, was there a conflict in the story? Yes. Right. Was there emotion? Yes. The time he says that I made a mistake hiring you, you felt emotional, right? What the hell is saying? right? Was there emotion? The answer is yes, right? Now, it started talking about numbers, 9x reward, right? Numbers were there. Yes, numbers build trust. So every point which I've covered related to story were there. Right? Now, there is something which was there, which was like finding out something common between two people out. What do people like? Gifts. So they try to find out a common between two people out. So this is how the things are delivered. The time you start watching out some videos, or you'll able to relate it out. Yeah, ये principles use होते हैं when you're going to be delivering a story. Okay, how one can develop a storytelling technique? I think which we have covered. We'll cover some recent questions which are there. Mm, uh, Someone is saying, is everyone false only for stories? There is no strong stuff inside. How will the organization win? No, Poonam, it's not about delivering a false stories. It's all about delivering the same thing in a better way. Are we getting it? Right? It's all about delivering your same story in a better way. It's like if I start the session by saying, say, hi, Shivam Palan, but instead of that, I said that today I'm feeling like a Bill Gates. Now everyone's like, oh, why the hell you're feeling like a Bill Gates? So it's like your delivery is just changing out by bringing out some different way. Okay. Uh, Next is, what are some of the ways to incorporate humor into a story? Right. This is something which will come from a practice. One of the best thing which I generally say is observe the things which you're doing. The time you start observing the things around you, you'll start feeling out this is something which I can incorporate. And most of the stories are built out from the great observations. The one which I deliver, remember the story which you had a fight with your mom and dad or dadi or mom for a TV remote? Yes. In a similar way, you had a lot of things which you have done in the past, but you're not able to recall it. But the time you start talking about this among your friends or people out, they'll feel like this is something which you want. Right? You can also, the time I start talking about some of the cartoons, right? I don't know how many of you have watched Doraemon or Shinchan or Nobita or Shaktiman and whatnot, right? Somebody saying I watched Son Pari, okay, that is a different story. So what now people are able to do, they are now able to resonate with the things around. Okay, so it's all about the observations. It's all about the practice which is going to be helping you to develop it. Right. Others, those who have any of the queries, right, will be happy to answer it if you put it out in the chat. Right. How much time can one take to deliver a story? Is there any saturation point? No, there's no saturation point, right? And how much time one take to deliver the story? It's up to you, but the stories need to be short, but it's purely based on reactions of what other person is gonna be feeling, right? आप अब सामने वाले को बेचारे को उबासी आ रही है saying कि भाई just stop it out, so it should not be very big. It should be the one of the very interesting rule of a game of a storytelling which is there, which I just missed out. One of the rule is make other person nod ahead. This is the rule of a game, है ना? जब तक के सामने वाला मुंडी हिला रहा है, right? It means that your stories are working well. The time other person stop nodding his head, understand that your story is not working or you're doing time pass or he's feeling offended. I'll be getting it, right? So the time I say is that, are you able to resonate with this thing? Otherwise, like, ha, मेरे साथ भी ऐसा हुआ था. What others are doing, they're feeling nice, right? Lot of stories you can talk about, right? When I was a child, right, I used to have, I love biscuits, right? So we used to have different biscuits of hide and seek, right? और तब जब ₹5 का biscuit आता था, that was a huge packet which you used to have, and now in ₹5 you only have 4 pieces. I really feel bad, यार, है ना? So now what I'm doing, see, conflict भी आ गया, emotion भी आ गया. I'm delivering my story, and other person feel like, oh my god, he loves hide and seek. I also love hide and seek. Are you able to resonate it out? Now, can we relate to each other and can we talk to each other? Like, हाँ यार, ये तो मेरे type का आदमी है. So this is what is going to be happening when you're going to be talking to the people around, and you need to learn this art of a delivery. The time you learn this out, understand one thing: you have more connections, and what you need is the one connection, because one right reference will help you to get into one right company. So everything is interlinked here, guys. So which is something which you need to learn. What are some of the common mistakes when you're telling a story? Number one, right? Don't overpromise yourself. Okay. Many times I've seen that people have started faking themselves when it comes to delivering of a stories. Don't fake it. But the rule is different. The rule is fake it till the time you can make it. Okay. What is the rule? Fake it till the time you can make it. It also works in interviews. झूठ इतना बोलो जितना आप संभाल सको. But it should not be such that कि हाँ मैं हिमालय गया था. अरे तुम गए नहीं and you're talking about I went to Himalayas because other person says that he has went to Himalayas. Right. So this is one of the common mistakes. Second, right? Every story might not be delivered in the same way which is there, right? Some stories start with a question, some stories start with a conflict, some stories start with emotions. So that is something which you learn it over a period of time. But generally, which I've seen is people make a mistake related to this. Can we get the PPT and the recorded session for this? Right. Of course, I think recorded, I think it is gonna
PPT,
be PPT is gonna be
it will be
delivered.
there on the YouTube channel. It will be there of GIBS.
Yes. Okay. Uh, how we can stay authentic when storytelling that may be outside your personal experience. So again, I'm telling you this is something which you learn it from your experiences. The time you start speaking it out using this parameters, ekdam basic rules hai, which I've given. The time you put it in your head and start speaking to people out, they'll feel like this is something which you want. Okay. What are some of the techniques to maintain audience engagement throughout a story? One of the very good way which I just used it out in today's session is first asking the questions, taking the response, creating a commonness that is there. Next, playing the videos in the sessions. So transition is very important, right? Continuous one-way delivery will not work. Every nowadays attention spam, which is said, right, after having an Instagram reels have been reduced to 20 seconds or 30 seconds, राइट अब वो ऑडियंस के साथ हम डील कर रहे हैं द फैकल्टीज कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट बेटर टुडेज जनरेशन इज टफ to ensure that they are engaged. So what generally which I do in my sessions is transition is very fast. First, two-way communication, that is very important. Second, Q&A, polls, which is very important. Third, transition, you don't speak much, you speak videos or you speak students engagement, which is there, that is very interesting. Fourth, some surprises in the events or tests, just a surprise test, surprise quiz, surprise giveaway always works. The person who answers the fastest finger first in the class will be awarded a dairy milk. It's hardly a 10 rupees investment, but the attention span of the audience is going to be there, right? Or you can maintain the scorecard. So this different things can be done during the sessions. What are some of the ethical considerations when using? There's nothing ethical considerations. I don't know. This is going to a technical Suryaji, but yeah, it's like I just want you to start it. Itna mat socho. One of the good thing about the startup founders is they start the things out. Then of course we'll see what is going to be happening. But you just need to start it. If you are going to be putting it out pen point, ki saying that ki iska kya hoga, iska kya hoga, iska kya hoga, do it, but you'll just waste your time. Simple is connect the dot later, not today. Okay. I'll be getting it. You need to connect the dot later, not today. आज बैठ के सोचोगे कि आगे क्या होगा तो सोचते रहोगे और उतनी देर में someone else will do it out. ठीक है. So don't think much. I want you to start it out because your start is very important. And if you will do it, definitely you will achieve a great success. Right? So before we conclude, just one important thing, guys. It's important to start, right? Because if you don't start, you'll not reach the place where you want to get into. Right? So that's it from my side for storytelling. Right? Really happy and thankful to Sandeep ji and entire team of GIBS for inviting me for this webinar and session. I am looking forward for more such webinars and session, and will be happy to have some in-person session in our school. Right? And thank you to all of you, those who are here, those who have connected, right, for this session. Right? And definitely, you guys can connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn. LinkedIn में I so sorry my connection request is full. 30,000 का limit breach हो गया है, तो that is there. But you can definitely follow me on Instagram. Right? Palan Shivam is my page. Right? You can follow me there, and definitely will be happy to help you out for any queries you have there. Right? Done. Yeah,
Uh,
Sandeep ji.
uh, I would say, sir, I have been left as speechless. Honestly speaking, maybe I have no words left. How do I express my gratitude towards you? Because when we are talking to student fraternity, and today we speak only on things something like, sir, placement कितना मिलेगा? Forget about कैसे मिलेगा, but कितना मिलेगा?
Hmm.
And the way you have put it across to a lot of tips in terms of cracking the interviews. And the one special request I have to all the audience, specifically to all the students who are very, very keen on getting into a good organizations, good placements, I must say that you must follow Mr. Shivam. I think आपकी आधी problem are solved. You need not worry about your cracking the interviews. I'm sure sir has several more than 1,000 videos, which is live, which is put on the Instagram. You should follow them. And you should see, at least whenever you're going for an interview, just have a basic insight, I would say quick reels which you have it. I'm sure even that will help you out. As Mr. Shivam was mentioning, the today's time, the reels needs to be of very, very short duration, only 30 seconds. And within that period time, I'm sure Shivam sir, आपने कुछ नहीं छोड़ा. I'm sure you have covered most of the things which the youth or the audience needs it today. So heartfelt gratitude for you for extending your support and time for making it up to this IRE talks. And certainly we would look forward whenever you're in Bangalore, we will certainly schedule offline and look when can we have in-person meeting in the campus. I'm sure all our students would be benefited once you're there in campus. We would love to see you in campus, sir.
Done.
And
Thanks.
one last thing to all the audience. Thank you so much. I'm sure you guys were amazing, and your participation and enthusiasm has made today's discussion even more enriching. Right. So thank you so much once again. And one small announcement that our next IRE talks is happening on 24th April, and that's on LinkedIn Powerhouse. Build your personal brand. As even Shivamji said just now, build your brand. So the next session is purely on build your brand. That's basically on the LinkedIn and presented by Ms. Muskan Agarwal, who's again LinkedIn's top voice, top 1% mentor at TopMate, and 2 times paper presented at CASMC and public speaker, recognized as LinkedIn top voice. So looking forward to see you all, and do follow GIBS as well as Ms. Shivam on social media platforms so that you can stay connected. And I'm sure we will give you the best of the best speakers to help you out in your due course of life. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shivamji. It was really nice having with you.
Thanks, Sandeep ji. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye bye. Thanks for joining in.